So, you want to be an Amazon best-selling author and make lots of money from your books. Well, listen, those two things do not mean the same. The ugly truth is that you can become an Amazon best-selling author for 20 or 30 bucks. Listen, I know you didn't write your book to be a 20-buck bestseller. So stay tuned and let's talk about what you need to be focusing on to be a profitable author. Hey, I'm Vanessa Collins. I am a publishing coach and certified digital marketing strategist. And I teach people literally how to print money using their knowledge. Now, one of the easiest ways to do this is to write a book. However, as an author, you have to learn how to generate revenue from that book, i.e., print money. I know everyone's heard about being an Amazon best-selling author, but let's talk about what it means to really be a bestseller and what you need to be focusing on in order to be a profitable author. Amazon rankings are updated hourly, and they reflect recent and historical data, with the recent data weighing more heavily. Therefore, the rankings are really relative. Your sales rankings can change, even if your book's sales activity remains the same. They can go up and down based on the books around them. Because of this system, you can become an Amazon bestseller with just a few sales. For instance, you can have 30 people buy your 99-cent Kindle book at 10 o'clock at night. Chances are by 9 a.m., you will have hit the top 100 as an Amazon bestseller in your category. You may even have hit number one. I have hit this a number of times, and so have my clients. So, why go after being an Amazon bestseller if it means so little? Good question. While being an Amazon bestseller may not mean a lot financially, it does give your book a status boost. And so when people are introducing you as an Amazon best-selling author, other people who are listening are impressed. This works well when you are being introduced in a podcast or on a summit. The only people who know that being an Amazon bestseller doesn't necessarily mean that you are a profitable author are the other authors listening. But what about becoming a New York Times bestseller? Now that's different, highly unattainable for many authors, and not as profitable as you may think. To achieve New York Times bestseller status, not only do you have to sell 5,000 to 10,000 copies of your book in 1 week, those sales must come from diverse sources. This means you can't sell your 10,000 books just to your pre existing list or on your website or from Amazon. These sales must come from big box stores like Walmart, must have some from Amazon, but small independent sellers, they must come from a variety of sources. Also, the promotion budget to achieve this can be quite expensive. Now, according to the site promotedbook.com, it could cost anywhere up to $2 million to promote your book for that coveted New York Times bestsellers list. So, why do the big wigs do it? Well, if you become an Amazon best-selling author, you can land larger media interviews and demand a much higher speaking fee. Okay, Vanessa, you may be saying, you told me that being an Amazon bestseller isn't really profitable, And being a New York Times bestseller is too expensive. What should I be shooting for as an author? Good question. My definition of a bestseller is a book that can be used to create other products and services that generate substantial income. Now, I know substantial income is a subjective term. What do you consider substantial? For me, it's $10,000. If I can generate $10,000 from a book, I consider that book a bestseller. So, how do you do this? How do you take your nonfiction book and create products and services? You need a plan and possibly a mindset shift. Let's talk about the mindset shift first. If you are an author, you have a business. You are selling a product, which is your book. But now here's the ugly truth. Most authors are horrible when it comes to business. We love to write, we love to create. We don't necessarily like to market and sell. But to be in business, you need more than just products and services. You must sell and market those products and services. So many authors only promote their books when they first come out. They give away books without a strategy, and they really have no plan for how that book fits into their overall business strategy. For a given book, on average, most self published authors sell around 250 copies of that book during the sales lifetime of that book. Now, if your profit is $10 per book, we're looking at about $2,500 from your book. Now, let's face it, for many authors, that barely covers what you spent to get the book published. Even if you published it yourself, you still have to take into account the amount of time you spent writing, laying the book out, cover design, and publishing the book. In business, time equals money. It took me a long time to figure this out. When I wrote my first book, Intensive Faith Therapy, in 2009, I generated about $1,500 from the paperback version, and then maybe another $525 from the ebook and online royalties. Then a couple of years later, I turned that book into a conference, and that generated over $4,500. That conference opened up speaking engagements that brought in around $1,800. From that, I took what I learned publishing my book, and that started my coaching program. That first coaching program brought in another $8,000. I did a variety of boot camps and other coaching programs. And at the end of the day, that first book brought in over $20,000, but it took 7 years to do it. Now, in 2017 is when it really started to click for me. So, not only did I learn how to write my fifth book quickly, I wrote this book in 30 days. I also learned how to produce products and services quickly. Over the last 5 years, this book has generated close to $60,000 in classes, coaching, and membership programs, all products and services based on ideas from the book. Then in 2018, I leveled up. I sharpened my skills in digital marketing, and it produced some amazing results. This book, Chief Executive Author, book baby number 6, has brought in over $200,000 from classes, coaching, memberships, and mentorship programs, all based on the content of this book. So after 13 years and over $300,000 from products and services created from books, I have learned that people will pay you for solutions that they value. We all have a wealth of knowledge that we have not completely tapped into. And although the quickest way to organize that knowledge is to write your book, you must have a plan that goes beyond the book. So, how can you do this for your book? Well, if you haven't already, make sure you watch the video Beyond the Book, 6 virtual products that every author needs to build their digital dynasty. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for this channel.